Well, hello there. Thank you for joining us. It's myself, Samuel Boswell, on the left of your picture there. And I'm joined tonight by Gio Mackie. Today, we will be previewing and giving you the OLBG members' best tips for Chelsea versus Arsenal. A huge game this weekend. Two teams that have had very different starts to the season. I'm delighted to say I am joined, as I said earlier, by Gio Mackie. Hi, Gio. Interesting game, this one.
Yeah, I think it's massive, actually. I think it's really, really big, this game.
Do you think, I'd better ask this question now, get it out of the way. If Arsenal managed to go and win 2-3-0, could it be the end of Mourinho, or is this being a bit overplayed and the chances of him being sacked are unlikely? Do you think? I'd love to know, because in the sack race market, he's about third favourite at 5-1. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season.
No, I think he's gone a bit crazy. We've said this on the last couple of shows now about Chelsea. He looks like he's got a bit loopy. We didn't really fancy him at the start of the season either, Sam, for the title. We thought there was something there with Chelsea that was going wrong, and he's now apparently changing his side for tonight in the Champions League. It looks like he's going to be dropping quite a lot of his players. Will he get sacked? I don't think so. It would cost a lot to sack him, but I suppose they do have plenty of money. The issue for Mourinho is they've got Klopp and Ancelotti currently unemployed, and they're not going to be around for long. So it's a case of whoever pulls trigger first might get them to managers.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point. Maybe Chelsea will be moving their focus onto the Champions League this season if Man City keep up that relentless drive. Well, one team that probably aren't at the title race at all yet are Arsenal. Now, you obviously took great satisfaction in your team beating them, but what's your view on Arsenal this year? I think they're doing all right.
Yeah, they're not surprising anyone, are they? I don't think anyone's that surprised to see them already off the top by a few points. But this is a huge game for Arsenal. If they can win this, I think we'll have to take them serious for the title. I think we really have to if they can get points at Stamford Bridge on Saturday.
Does that mean we have to take Crystal Palace seriously for the title?
No, I'm afraid not, Sam. I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Right, let's take a look at these stats then. So, for the game in question, there's nothing particularly odd about it. If you like your over and unders on the goals, goals look like a decent bet, to be fair, for overs. This isn't the Chelsea of old that part the bus, so that could be something that might interest you. Usual prices for overs and unders, there's nothing too significant, and the members haven't tipped that up. Cards, though, Gio, this is something that'll interest you, I believe. Cards, around 4 or 5 cards a game, and 9 reds in this fixture, which is quite significant. That's based on league games only. Think this game's going to have even more edge. We know the managers don't get on. What's your view on perhaps tempers boiling over on the pitch?
Definitely. I think the best thing that can happen for punters on the card market is an early goal, because that will rile up the other team, if you like. We don't want it to be 0-0, because those kind of games can patter out a wee bit and the cards can end up drying up very quickly. But there's a lot of players on that pitch that's very capable of picking up silly bookings. You know, Fabregas is very good at picking up a yellow card for nothing. Coquelin at Arsenal is very good at picking up bookings for doing clever fouls on the halfway line and stuff. This is a market I was hoping to look at for tonight, but they're not up yet, unfortunately. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on, I think, before the game on Saturday.
You can get around 4-1 for a red. When you think about players like Theo Walcott with his pace, and Wenger has started to seemingly favour him up top at times, as well as Giroud or just off Giroud. Do you think he could give a player like Cahill, or if Terry's recalled to the side, a real pacey problem? You know, I can just see you've got Sanchez and Walcott on that pitch. I think if they're down the middle, Chelsea centre backs, they're not going to be able. Who would you fancy if you're John Terry playing against? Giroud, you'd win every aerial battle. You know what you're up against. Walcott, he's not going to get near him.
No, but I think they'll sit back. I think Chelsea will sit very deep and just give him no space in behind for him to get into. That is one thing. Even though Mourinho is losing, Chelsea haven't looked very good. They are still tactically switched on. It's just that the players aren't performing very well on the pitch. I think your red card is most likely to come from Ivanovic if he starts. I've said it a few times in this Hangouts. I think he's awful this season, and he's been getting torn apart by left winger after left winger. And your manager, Alan Pardew, said that he pinpointed Ivanovic as a weak link, and he was quite right to do it. And I think Wenger's going to be doing the same. If he can get Sanchez on the left wing against him, I think he's going to have a field day.
I think it'd be great to see It'd be great to see Chelsea get an early goal and not clam up. That's what worries me as a fan watching this game on a Saturday lunchtime. I don't want to see a 1-0 Chelsea park the bus. Do you think that's possible, or do you think they just won't get that opportunity to take the lead? First goals are always important. It's a real cliche, and I hate it when people say it. But Arsenal aren't going to go. I would be amazed if Arsenal play a patient game. I think they'd go for the throat from the off, and it would make sense to have Sanchez, Walcott, and Giroud forward three.
And Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think he's very good, and he's like a big game player. I think he played very well in the Community Shield against them as well. Remember? But yeah, they've got to go for it. But the difference with Chelsea scoring an early goal this season compared to last season they could hold a lead. Will they be able to keep Arsenal out with the way the defence has been so far? I wouldn't want to back it. The fact is, so far this season, Chelsea have conceded the most shots on target. That's a shocking stat for a Mourinho team. And Arsenal had the most shots on target. So it sounds like, if you're going by the figures, it sounds like Begovic is in for a very busy afternoon.
Well, you'd expect that to be the case, I suppose. I don't know many Arsenal teams that go away from home and defend. They've got one way of playing football, and it's with the ball and moving it. Let's take a look at those bets then. So Gio is going to tell us a little bit about his shortly, but let's bring up the first bet that I want to talk about. Now, Gio, you're one of them, but you're not one that's gone for this. The ORBG members they think the Chelsea price is too big. I asked a few of them on Twitter today. 6-4 Chelsea at home. Don't see that very often. Forget the form. Is this a case of it's a price too big to leave?
I'll probably leave it. I think you'd be a bit. You know what I'm like? I like to go for the underdog, but the 6-4 is huge for Chelsea at home, considering that tonight I think they're 1-6 or something tonight. So you can understand why they're taking it. But Arsenal away from home in the last 8 games in the league, they've won 7 and drawn 1. They're no mugs. I think Reiners, although he's very experienced, I think he's only just finally clicked in how to break sides down away from home a bit better than he's used to. And I think we've seen a different side to Arsenal in this last 18 months or so. I'm afraid I'm not agreeing with the LBG members here, Sam.
Okay, not a problem. So would you like me to put your bet up as then a red card in the game, something like that? Or do you want to go, because I'll be about 4-1 for a red card. So should we mark that as your bet?
No, I'm going for something slightly different. Last fixtures, the last 2 seasons, Chelsea have had a penalty in the first half, and Hazard scored them both. And it's 7-1 for Chelsea to score a penalty on Saturday. Mike Dean's the referee. He won't duck out of a big decision, and he usually favourites the home side. I think he's one referee. That can be influenced a bit by the crowd when he's playing. He's at the bigger ground, if you like, at big teams. So for Hazard to score, well, not Hazard, anyone to score a penalty for Chelsea on Saturday, 7-1, I think that's a bit of value. But the Arsenal to win at 2-1's tempted me quite a lot, Sam.
I thought you'd be a draw no bet kind of guy at the prices at the moment for Arsenal.
Yeah, I've debated it, but at the same time, I'm just I can't get very enthusiastic about Chelsea at all. But
okay.
Wait.
You don't need to, Gio. You don't support them. Don't worry. We're not going to hold you to account. You've got your views, and that's why we like them. The members go for that. Just very quickly, the stats bet. We threw it up there. At the moment, overs is sitting at 2.5 goals. 5-6 looks pretty generous about that, I suppose. That's with Betwin. It was quite a standout price. Gio, do you think there will be plenty of goals in this fixture? The Saturday lunchtime one tends to be a bit of a curse from the ones I've been watching this season for goals. What are we thinking?
Well, there was 4 last Saturday lunchtime. Chelsea were involved, so I think we can see it actually. Because I just don't think Chelsea are good enough to keep a clean sheet, and I think Mourinho is going to know that they're going to have to go for goals because they're just not good enough at the minute to keep out Everton. Never mind Arsenal, and they conceded at West Brom as well. You know, this is a side that, if you like, won the title by playing with clean sheets last season. They've just, something's happened at Chelsea. I don't know what, and it's not the doctor.
No, well, we've talked about that enough. Gio, thank you for your time. Guys, don't forget, you can subscribe and you'll get all these videos. We do loads of free tipping ones. We're well in front. Last week, members hit 4 out of 5 bets correctly. Gio picked up a couple as well. He tends to go for the bigger, more fancy prices. What I would say is check out the other videos for the weekend. We've previewed all the other TV games. Some good ones on Sunday as well. And I think, Gio, you've got a bet you're going to share on the Sunday one, haven't you? Quite a good price.
Yeah, I've got a couple of tasty prices on Saturday. You know what I'm like, I don't go for short prices. A 2-to-1 and I think it's a 3-to-1. So yeah, definitely value.
Okay, well, Gio, thank you for your time today, and thank you for watching this preview. Don't forget to subscribe and add your comments. We love to hear from you. Last week we had someone say follow the tips. Was really pleased because West Ham got a great result. Let us know. You don't have to follow them. You can tell us what you're backing and why. We'll read them out in the next show. Why not? Right, thanks for your time. Thank you, Gio.
Good night.